day everyone, I am Jessa Belmonte, one of the members of Group 1, and this video is intended to give you a simple information about the different topics of 21st century literacies, including globalization and multicultural literacy, social literacy, media literacy, financial literacy, cyber or digital literacy, eco-literacy, arts and creativity literacy, and the question, how can teachers integrate new literacies in their lesson? But before we start, let us first know what 21st century literacy is. Literacy is the ability to read and write in a variety of tasks both within and outside the classroom. Reading is a complex process of understanding a text, while writing is a complex process of producing a text. Writers creates meaning in a way that it is appropriate to the genre and its purpose. However, the concept of what it means to be literate is changing. Traditional definition of literacy is focused on the ability to read and write words, but now is considered a tool, a means to participate more fully in the 21st century digital society. The term 21st century is generally used to refer to core competencies such as collaboration, digital literacy, critical thinking, and problem solving that advocates and believe schools need to teach to help students thrive in today's world. According to ELK Grove Unified School District, 21st century demands a literate person to possess a wide range of abilities and competencies. 21st century individuals need to develop proficiency with the tools of technology, build relationship with others to pose and solve problems collaboratively and cross-culturally, design and share information for global communities to meet a variety of purpose, manage, analyze, and synthesize multiple streams for simultaneous information, create, critique, analyze, and evaluate multimedia text, and lastly is to attend to the ethical responsibilities required by these complex environments. Now let us talk about the multicultural literacy. According to Booth, multicultural literacy brings attention to diversity, equity, and social justice to foster cultural awareness by addressing difficult issues like discrimination and oppression towards other ethnicities. Educational for multicultural literacy should help students to develop 21st century skills and attitudes that are needed to become active citizens who will work towards achieving social justice within our communities. Banks stated that in order for students to develop these attitudes and skills, it requires basic knowledge prior to teaching students how to question assumptions about cultural knowledge and how to critique and critically think about these important cultural issues. Next is the global literacy. Global literacy aims to address issues of globalization, racism, diversity, and social justice. It is an understanding of how the world is organized and interconnected. According to the Ontario Ministry of Education, a global citizen should display most or all of the following characteristics. So how are multicultural literacy and global literacy interconnected? Every classroom contains students of different race, religion, and cultural groups. Students embrace diverse behavior, cultural values, patterns of practice, and communication, yet they all share one commonality, which is their educational opportunity. Teachers should teach their students that other cultures exist and that this deserves to be acknowledged and respected. Integrating a variety of cultural contexts into lessons and activities teaches students to view the world in different angles, creates respect for diversity, and enables students to learn exciting information. As classrooms become increasingly more diverse, it is important for educators to acknowledge and address diversity issues and integrate multiculturalism information into the classroom curriculum. So that's it for globalization and multicultural literacy. Now, Eileen Damdam will talk about the social literacy.
Thank you, Ms. Belmonte. Good day, I am Eileen D. Damdam, the next discussant for the social literacy. Let's proceed now to the discussion of social literacy. Social literacy, from the perspective of the social cultural theory, is more than the ability to read and write, and more than mastering literacy skills. So we define social literacy based from the ability of a person to read and write. Pero, one person cannot learn all by himself or all by herself. Kinakailangan niya ng tulong o makipag-interact sa ibang tao upang mas matuto siya sa isang bagay. Doon pumapasok ang tinatawag nating social literacy. The term social literacy refers to the ability to develop polite interaction. Paano nga ba makipag-interact ang isang tao? As we all know, not all people have the ability to socialize with other people. However, it can be learned over the years, over a period of time. May tinatawag tayong social fright or takot makipagsalamuhas or makipag-interact sa ibang tao. Personally, I also experienced that thing. However, as the years pass by, natuto akong makipagsalamuha at makipag-interact sa ibang tao. Why? Because as a future educator, social skills is very important. Why? Because as a future educator, it is important to have social skills. Being social literate can help you interact with your students. Mas mapapaganda ang pagtuturo at effective ang iyong approach sa mga bata kung mayroon kang social skills. Tama po ba? So, as I've said a while ago, in order to learn, you must be able to communicate and express your opinions and thoughts, as well as listen to others' opinions and thoughts. Bakit nga ba mahalagang makipag-usap or makipag-communicate sa ibang tao? In this way, when you brainstorm with your fellow classmates or with your friends and other people, mas napapalawak ang iyong kaalaman at pag-intindi sa mga bagay-bagay. More so, by socializing with other people, you will learn to foster empathy, develop or improve your language skills. How come? When you, for example, you communicate with your classmate using the English language. Kapag madalas mong ginagamit ang language na ito, kapag palagi mong prina-practice, ay mai-improve pa lalo ang iyong language skills. More so, you will discover the concept of sharing and teamwork. And of course, it will enhance your confidence. Confidence is considered as the height of social skills, and it can only be sharpened if you continue to interact with your fellow classmates or with other people. Let's proceed now to the importance of social literacy. It is important because students must learn the necessary skills to communicate and widen their social circles. Talking about communication, it is very important to all of us. Agree? Communication, we use that very often. Wherever we go, we communicate with other people. For example, in our house, we talk to our family members so that magkaintindihan ang bawat isa. What else? Sa school, the teacher communicate with their students so that the students can also share their thoughts and ideas about the certain topic. Being socially literate allows the students to successfully expand their social circles and maintain those relationships. In addition, social literacy is important to a person's success. The ability to communicate and voice out your opinion and thought, as well as listening to other opinions and thoughts, is essential in learning. In general, social skills learning improves students' communication with peers and adults, improves cooperative teamwork, and help them become effective, caring, and concerned members of their communities. That's all for the social literacy topic. Let's proceed now to the next discussion.
21st Century Literacies. I am April Judy Suyu, and I will be discussing the next topic. We have media literacy. Media literacy is not only the ability to understand information being presented to us, but also determining the best ways to respond to it. When we say media, we are speaking about the way people communicate around the world, whether it is through print, radio and television, the internet, or new forms of media. In the past centuries, media has been produced by corporations or state entities, trying to control the content or messages communicated to the public. These organizations edit news, advertising, and other information before the public sees the final product. New digital technologies such as social media allow for a new, free flow of information. We no longer centralized on one source of information, but instead, our information comes from a wide variety of sources. In addition, each and every person has the ability to contribute a public exchange of knowledge. Of course, the information we may receive may be still biased, so it is important that we understand how messages are created and consumed in all forms of media. This understanding is the definition of media literacy. So, how do we make sense of diversity of information being presented to us at the faster pace in ever before? We can do so by gathering, analyzing, and reflecting online information so that we can better understand how and why a specific message is being delivered. Media literacy refers to the capacity to understand, analyze, and critique the media, and to meaningfully participate with messages in print, audio, video, and/or internet discourse. Why be media literate? The prevalence and influence of the media make it a necessary part of 21st century education. The different media, radio, television, print, film, and cyberspace bombard billions of people daily with information and entertainment. The media cycle never stops. Its reach goes beyond national borders, operating 24/7. Billions access the internet regularly. Media literacy raises the capacity of citizens and citizens groups to participate in public life on another level, giving further meaning to information exchange. They can communicate their ideas and engage meaningfully in democratic debate. So, that would be all. Now, Ms. Enriquez will talk about financial literacy.
The next topic is all about financial literacy. Financial literacy. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy is the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. What is the importance of financial literacy? Financial literacy can help protect individuals from becoming victims of financial fraud, a type of crime that is becoming more commonplace. Why is financial literacy important? The lack of financial literacy can lead to a number of pitfalls such as accumulating unsustainable debt burdens, either through poor spending decisions or lack of long-term preparations. This, in turn, can lead to poor credit, bankruptcy, housing, foreclosure, or other negative consequences. Fundamental components of financial literacy. Financial literacy consists of several financial components and skills that allow an individual to gain knowledge regarding the effective management of money and debt. There are 5 fundamental components of financial literacy that should be learned. The first one is budgeting. In budgeting, there are 4 main uses for money that determine a budget. The first one is spending, investing, saving, and giving away. Creating the right balance throughout the primary uses of money allows individuals to better allocate their income, resulting in financial security and prosperity. In general, a budget should compose in a way that pays off all existing debt while leaving money aside for saving and making beneficial investments. Number 2 is investing. To become financially literate, an individual must learn about key components regarding to investing. Some of the components that should be learned to ensure favorable investments are interest rates, price levels, diversification, risk mitigation, and indexes. Learning about crucial investment components allow individuals to make smarter financial decisions that may result in an increased inflow of income. Number 3 is borrowing. In most cases, almost every individual is required to borrow money to one point in their life. To ensure borrowing is done effectively, an understanding of interest rates, compound interest, time value of money, payment periods, and loan structure is crucial. If the criteria above are understood sufficiently, an individual's financial literacy will increase, which will provide practical borrowing guidelines and reduce long-term financial stress. Number 4 is taxation. Gaining knowledge about the different forms of taxation and how they impact an individual's individual's net income is crucial for obtaining financial literacy. Whether it be employment, investment, rental, inheritance, or unexpected, each source of income is taxed differently. Awareness of different income tax rates permit economic stability and increases financial performance through income management. Number 5 is personal financial management. It is the most important criteria because it includes an entire mix of all the components listed above. Financial security is ensured by balancing the mix of financial components above to solidify and increase investment and savings while reducing borrowing and debt. Achieving an in-depth knowledge of the financial components discussed above guarantees an increase in an individual's financial literacy.
literacy competence is the ecological literacy, often known as eco-literacy. So eco-literacy, it is originally promoted by the environmental educator and author David W.R. year 1992 and the father of modern systems science and physicist Fritjof Capra year 1995. Nurturing ecological literacy in students of a wide range of ages has become the goal of sustainability education programs worldwide. What is eco-literacy? Eco-literacy is the ability to understand the organization of natural systems that make life on Earth possible. It is the power that comes from the knowledge and consciousness of how nature's living systems operate. According to Bill Graham, a marine biologist, to be eco-literate means understanding the principles of organization of ecological communities, constructive collaboration between members of a community, and using these principles for creating sustainable human communities. A person who is ecologically literate can apply this knowledge to the environment, our social settlement structure and organization, as well as the establishment of a culture of regeneration. Eco-literacy takes place when we humans let the nature become our teacher. It will take place when we form a legacy by passing our knowledge and our eco-literate worldview onto other members of our community. According to Daniel Goleman, today's threats demand that we hone a new sensibility, the capacity to recognize the hidden web of connections between human activity and nature's systems and the subtle complexities of their intersections. The human race is consuming the Earth's resources beyond its capacity. By year 2050, Earth may not be able to sustain the human population. The Center for Eco-Literacy co-founder Fritjof Capra goes on to suggest that the concept of ecological literacy includes the insight and knowledge needed in order for man to create and uphold sustainable societies. To do so, we need to study the ecosystem of nature. We have to understand the underlying principles of natural ecosystems and to use them as our basis for building our own societies. We must understand the basic principles of a connected nature and how to live accordingly. The survival of humanity depends upon our ecological literacy. This means that ecological literacy must become a critical skill for all humans to embrace if we are to remain on Earth.
So, thank you very much, Miss Mariah Guap. That was eco-literacy. Now, we are going to discuss what is arts and creativity literacy. I am Rose Angeli de Gubilla, your discussant for today's weekend. I am Rose Angeli de Gubilla and I am going to discuss arts and creativity literacy. Ken Robinson once said, "Creativity isn't an option, it's an absolute necessity. Therefore, we must find ways to bring creativity into learning. But first, we have to understand what conditions foster value creativity, which Robinson defined as the process of having original ideas that have value. We know that children need what we do not yet create the change required in order to provide the context and supporting for developing 21st century skills or multiple literacies. Our school remains firmly in the factor model paradigm, which is no creativity is allowed. Therefore, setting the stage for developing literacies of the arts and creativity involve intentional design of the physical learning environment, the emotional environment, scheduling, organization and implementation of curriculum and instruction, and attention to the body and the brain. So what can we do to provide these children with what they need as we also continue to push for real change? Thankfully, these are the 10 things that the teachers can do, provided they also have the support of the campus, district administrators, and the parents. First is the physical environment. It is the designed physical environment to support creativity for the school building or facility itself. Lecture hall for student presentations. Next is emotional environment, which it takes time to create and maintain a climate of respect and caring and that supports making mistakes. Third is the project-based learning, which introduces choice, freedom, and space for creativity. The problem-based learning units you design should be relevant, rigorous, and real-world in order to achieve the highest level of student motivation, engagement, and learning. Preferably, they are interdisciplinary. Fourth is to teach creative thinking skills. First, teach students about metacognition, which is thinking about thinking. Teach them how to brainstorm, compare and contrast, problem solve, concept map, analyze, and evaluate. Fifth is alternative assessment. Instead of worksheet or assignment, provide a plenty of leeway for students to create products in a medium of their choice. For example, a student produce video, film, television or radio broadcast, a student read and produce play or a debate. Sixth is scheduling. The most effective learning and teaching will take place when you create smaller learning communities. For example, 6 teachers with expertise in various disciplines who work with the same group of students all day, every day. Seventh is student-centered and personalized learning. Give students the voice and choice as much as possible regarding what they will learn, how they will learn it, and how they will demonstrate what they have learned. 8 is to incorporate the arts. Seamlessly integrate music, art, drama, and dance into your PBL curriculum. Try not to make creativity time be separate from the rest of the curriculum. 9th is the integration of technologies. Student blogs and websites, blogsters, voice threads, student publishing, video game design, coding, filmmaking, and photography are examples of it. The last one is preparing the body and brain for creativity, which offers students and the faculty opportunities such as yoga, ballet, and jazz. So that is all for the arts and creativity design. Thank you. Now let us move on to the next report.
Okay, thank you. So today we are going to talk about the new literacies. We're going to look at the best approach to teaching new literacies and explore what this might look like in our classroom. So new literacies are associated with digital technologies. They are said to be, they are multiple, they are complex, and they are constantly evolving. Now, as teachers, it is important for us to provide our students with the tools required to navigate the complexities of new literacies and their technology. Now, we should take the opportunity to use them in a way that develops skills in our students and allows them to become critical consumers, producers, distributors, and inventors. Now, the National Council of the Teachers of English 2013 defines 21st century literacies as the ability to develop proficiency and fluency with the tools of technology. And Nicholson and Galguera in 2013 also suggested 5 skills that must be taught to address and or integrate students with the new literacy skills. So the first skill is the ability to identify questions and frame problems to guide reading on the internet. So in this ability, we should integrate students into the knowledge of before using the computer. Students need to know the problems that needs to be addressed to have a guide in using the internet. So the second skill is the capacity to identify information that is relevant to one's needs. So this skill has the idea for students to have the ability to know only the relevant and important information needed. Now, for the third skill is the competence with critically evaluating online information. Now, this is just for us to develop into the students to kind of critically evaluate the sources that they may find online. So the fourth is the facility, or the fourth skill is the facility with reading and synthesizing information from multiple media sources. Now, in this skill, it is important for us or to allow our students to have a wide variety or range of resources and use them to generate new information. Like for example, nowadays we use LMS, Google, or learning modules. Now for the last and fifth skill is the understanding how to communicate with others in contexts where information is learned about and shared collectively. So for this, commonly we use collaborative activities in the classroom where students should be able to socialize, discussion, and learn with other people. Now, in addition, the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development of the year 2004 have presented three approaches into integration of the new literacies. And these approaches are the multidisciplinary, the interdisciplinary, and the transdisciplinary. Now, for the first approach is the multidisciplinary approach. Now, this focuses on the primary on different disciplines where teachers who employ this approach may create standards from disciplines with a theme. Which is said to be this approach can have two or more subject areas that are organized around the same theme or topic and tend to be differ in the level of, let's say, intensity of integration effort. Now, for the second approach is when we say interdisciplinary, it is relating more than one branch of knowledge. So in this approach, teachers organize and capsulize the curriculum around the common learning across disciplines to emphasize interdisciplinary skills and concepts. Now, for the last approach or the third approach, it would be the transdisciplinary approach. When we say transdisciplinary approach, it is learning in the explanation of relevant content and concept issues or problem that, let's say, integrates the perspective of multiple disciplines. Now, in order for this approach to connect new knowledge and deeper understanding to real-life experiences. Now, before we conclude, it is said that new literacies is a new form of literacy which made possible because of the digital technology that we are using right now. So that's the main reason why new literacies are emerged. Commonly, new literacies are recognized as examples that includes, let's say, messaging, blogging, social networking, podcasting, photo sharing, digital storytelling, and conducting online searches. So if you try to scrutinize those following examples of digital technology development, this could be also used in the delivery of instruction or integration of the teachers to the teaching. But because in the 21st century, our learners are very what we call digital natives, we can use this one like the blogging, social networking, and forecasting as a platform of learning, like conducting online classes. Let's say if we are going to search for information in a different online search, we can use platforms like Google, YouTube, and many others. So basically, integrating new literacies is all about making the learning as authentic as possible and connecting to the real world for students to act of learning through doing. So if you're wanting to teach your students about web pages or blogging, well, just get your students building one. That is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something for today's discussion. That is all from the Group 1 about the discussion of the 21st century literacy skills and integrating it in teaching. Again, we are the Group 1. That is all. If you like it, like it. And that is all for us. Bye-bye.